A good leader solves problems, period. You have to have the courage to solve a problem. Problems exist because people are afraid to solve them. It's not that we don't have the answer. We got mad answers. People are afraid to implement those answers because of whatever the backlash may be, whatever they perceive it may be. You have to ask yourself, what kind of people do we want to become? When we say we're looking for leadership, what kind of people do we want to be? Now, that's going to mean that this leader is not going to be the leader for everyone. Some of us are going to have to unite around a specific thought. We need principles. In our community, it's the principles that are the leadership. Laws themselves are the leadership. We know that we can be corrupt. We can fall. We can be weak.
Humans are flawed.
Humans are flawed.
The code is solid.
We already know that.
Right.
Okay? We can do some crazy things. So if you want to run a nation, first let's put the law up front. What's the law? The law will lead. The law will dictate who is going to be the leader. The law will dictate what the community is going to be doing. Where's the law? Now, it's not our children that are affected by this. These are intellectuals that are affected by this.
Facts.
The smarter you get, it seems the dumber you get. The smarter our intellectuals become, the more cowardly they become. This has something to do with this colonial education we're getting, because I know some great black minds. You know, I'm in the university system. I see these minds. I talk. People, great minds. But that paycheck is going to dictate what's going to come out that mind. I'll come out your mouth of that mind.
And the paycheck is based off of that other piece of paper that they got to affirm their paycheck.
I got master's degree.
So therefore I get paid more.
I get paid more.
Therefore I'm controlled by your system.
I know the truth, but let me not speak it right now.
Nah, because I can't. I gotta feed my family.
Right. Now, feeding your family is way more important than speaking the truth to a people that's going to treat you like they did Dr. King. If there was a reward to speaking truth, more people would.
Indeed.
Well, there's no
That's
reward.
not where the bag is. It's like you said, the bag is in the fantasy.
See, that's what it is. And so here we are. We're summing up the issues of leadership. We're summing up the issues of that word sovereignty and what the real issue is with our people. Education has a lot to do with it, of course. But we don't need education. We don't need this education.
Because we have wisdom.
We have being.
Right.
We are. And the more we love who we are, you'll do fine in the fantasy. You'll do fine. Now, some of us, we like to dabble into the truth every once in a while. We say,
that would be me.
You know, let me get to the truth and see what it really is. Those are the leaders. Those are the people, and not just those who stay in the truth, but those who can differentiate between truth and fantasy, right and wrong, good and evil, good and bad, discipline and evil. Those that can do that are the leaders. But that's not a thing that's done, that's a thing that's lived through principle. So when the principle is established, the leadership will come out of that principle. There's our leader, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. The prophet is never welcomed in his own home.
Observing the wicked laws of the land, I'll let God be the judge. After all, he got the ball in his hand. In the palm of mine is a microphone with the flip of a switch. Can light your zone with the slickest recited poems. Early 20s, but it's late, my soul is twice as old. But inspiring it to inspire and ignite my folk. Give him the type of dote of a striking of lightning bolts. promise to speak my truth, no matter the lies imposed. I dispose the inactiveness, sad to see wasted talent. You'll be sadly cast down if you sitting and wait for balance. Taking charge like an activist who knows who face a challenge. But the question is, do we got game like Ray and Allen? That's TBD. Had ankle breakers on DVD, but I'll never cross over all the way to POP. Since the ovaries, I've been a G. What you see in me is a brother who keep his word, and that's word to CMB. I stand on principles, so I always break his shoulders. The world can be chillin' and niggas heat, make it colder. You can make it out the jungle and ball like Chris Paul, or you can sleep in your jungle, but best believe they're waking forest. I pray for fortune from my fortress. Demons never prosper, cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. I pray for fortune from my fortress. Demons never prosper, cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. This is raw and uncut, just call it a rush of adrenaline. Malevolence, I'm devilish when barring them up. They stay biting, so it's right I leave them all in the dust. A product of Queen's legends, you know Nas in the bunch. If I ruled the world with an iron fist, I'd be remiss if I didn't face evil and hit his jaw with a punch. Ironic as fuck, considering the fact in bar 2 I said I'm malevolent, but really awkward as fuck. Sorry y'all, being honest is tough. Abiding God, the universe and nature, cause man's law isn't just. I just wanna get away at times to a place where the heaviest topics don't weigh our minds, just erase from existence. The system has made our lives a living hell. Fortune did enough to not live in poverty, but it bothers me that a lot of my people barely living well. How long do we wishing well until they swallow you up and then break you down like sickle cell? No more tears, blood is now being shed. The truth is getting exposed opposed to what's being said. The hunger grows tired of the bullshit being fed. We'll grab the bull by his horns whenever we seeing red. So I always break his shoulders. The world can be chillin' and niggas heat, make it colder. You can make it out the jungle and ball like Chris Paul, or you can sleep in your jungle, but best believe they're waking forest. I pray for fortune from my fortress. Demons never prosper, cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. I pray for fortune from my fortress. Demons never prosper, cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. From innocent living to a disastrous life, in tough positions cause brothers done took the baddest advice. Now you paying the consequence cause an action has price. The type of shit that make brothers wanna relapse on a vice. I think it's time we all use our flaws to our advantage and not be our downfall. How the cruelest at planet, clueless and stranded, that be our current state. Though some of us have awakened as we observing our fate. As the essence of existence somehow is turned into cases, cause we live in a hell that opposes to burn the races. Emotionless cause they brainless and the hardest concern escape them. No Moses, a free and hopeless and lost generation. Who be the bravest one to step to the plate? I made a promise to myself before I exit this place. I'll be autonomous and wealthy, not a peasant or slave. The anonymous will be welcome when his presence is made. I stand on principles, so I always break his shoulders. The world can be chillin' and niggas heat, make it colder. You can make it out the jungle and ball like Chris Paul, or you can sleep in your jungle, but best believe they're waking forest. I pray for fortune from my fortress. Demons never prosper, cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. I pray for fortune from my fortress. Demons never prosper, cause we one step ahead when we several monsters.
Said something interesting. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, cause none of them can stop the time. Stop here. The entire strength of this colonial system, none of them is above nature. When we look at these groups, we are looking at what they are advertising themselves to us as. These groups, they are designed to deceive. There's no truth in them. So as long as you know nature, God, the universe, or should I say this? God, universe, nature. That's your gun. G-U-N. God, universe, nature. Remember that gun. I'm putting a weapon in your hand. That's the gun you fight back with.
Wow.
Your innocence disappears as soon as you witness fear in the eyes of a hero, wishing that he had a pistol near. It becomes crystal clear that you are your own hero, cause he couldn't save himself, his position was so fetal. His last resort was to blast the toast, cause he couldn't tap into abilities that lack him most. Now we certainly governed by his lack of certainty, because he figured he couldn't handle his business with no bureau. I was little sipping Milo, thinking how to be revered in a sphere where the media be feeding mirror hate. Steer straight at an early age, I was surely amazed by the thought of God's grace. We can join his pearliest gates. Years later I found an escape from the spookiness, kept my faith in logic, using tenets that had truth in it. What's innate is knowledge, if neglected, what's the use in it? Better use this shit, cause if not, we in and out of hypnotic nuisance produced by Lucifer, nobody loosens it. Yo, am I losing it? Hallucinogens, never missed a kid. I'm daydreaming about what could be our end. Like this is it. Mysticism, sin, binges of wickedness, gin. Drunk of power, politicians always seem to win in the end. Maybe I'm tripping again. The baggage from being answerless as your intricate kin. Scared of being filtered, I'm aware who the villain is. The cup runneth over while mine is just filled to the brim. Little kid, just bet on yourself, don't count on no one. Cause when you search for something, in the end you are who shows up. Don't go numb, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Show enough, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Little kid, just bet on yourself, don't count on no one. Cause when you search for something, in the end you are who shows up. Don't go numb, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Show enough, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Grow up early morning, mighty morphin' on the TV, it was danger. Rest in peace, the Green Ranger, but he couldn't be a savior to a kid. Ducking bits, seeing how his brothers live. Can't teach him to be a man in a single mother's crib. Even Trey ditched the bib and learned the styles from his pops. When the father ain't in the picture, they wildin' for props. Anything for that dope boy and love from they homeboys. Gunshots loud but understandings making no noise. Out the other ears, words from a mother's fear. Baby, do you care to live or die? I'll make it pro-choice. You can choose to be a menace, facing 2 to 3 life sentences, or flip the script on them and have you 2 to 3 wise businesses. Believe in you. Little kid, just bet on yourself, don't count on no one. Cause when you search for something, in the end you are who shows up. Don't go numb, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Show enough, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Little kid, just bet on yourself, don't count on no one. Cause when you search for something, in the end you are who shows up. Don't go numb, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Show enough, keep your shoulders up, or they leave you slumped. Grow up.
We look at the words of our prophets, but we don't heed their message. We don't heed their message. And it's not a criticism of our people. We've been trained to be objective to our education. So even though we learn about our ancestors, we never become them. We can learn all day about great men and women of our ancestry, but we will never continue them.
Because their energy is eternal.
Their energy is with us right now. If you can tune into it.
Feel my heart pumping, running through these cold streets of hell, being chased by atrocities that know my people well. You look familiar, oh I know it's King Leopold. I got a silver bullet for colonists who steal gold, assassins after my character. The creed is told that the kid who know the ledge is the one to free his soul. Egregious foes get no access to my domain. This poetry is my nirvana, I'm like Cobain, keeps the brothers dome sane. I search for inner peace in the winter's please, cause this frigid ass world isn't meant for sinners please. They wonder what's in his jeans, no it ain't a piece or a piece of land. More like the DNA and proteins of decent men who will end up being programmed to see a savage in the mirror. Oh, that Miss America is happy when I fear her, but the psyche of a Santa was packing in my serum, yeah.
What is the sight that can see your future? These 2 eyes don't see the future. These 2 eyes don't see the past. Yet, you can see your past and you can see your future. You can actually see your past. What is the sight that can see beyond time?
A soul on fire since 05. My whole mind, body, and spirit has been a gold mine this whole time. The TV screen obliterated my vision. Was too blinded to make my own administrative decisions. All the lies digested that penetrated my system. But in the presence of Satan, I levitated, I'm gifted. Famous feeling dead inside, we're elevating my living. That's his native description. I've seen a taint with persistence. Women in fast cars and diamond rings can poison the rap star, the flaws of finer things. I find that being over thoughtful is detrimental at times. One day you're great, the next you're second guessing your rhymes. Bad days like an actor just forgetting his lines. You feeling like the higher power is regretting this time it took to make such a wretched design. Maybe I'm just tripping, I should listen to my intuition, right?
I not the flesh. I am the energy, the consciousness, the being in the flesh. And this is proof. This is no faith. This is not religion. This is actual fact. You can speak without moving your mouth. You can hear without ears. You can see without eyes. So what happens when these eyes, this mouth, and this ear drops off into the grave? These other senses are all you're left with. This body is the limitation of you. It is not your zenith. It is not your ultimate. Your ultimate is that voice. That person is immortal. Front, back, right, left, up, down. That's 3D plus time. What happened to in and out?
Sometimes it's hard to say to yourself, I don't like myself, but I don't know how to change. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like myself for a long time. I couldn't kill myself, so now I gotta deal with who I am. So I gotta change myself. I gotta find out who I am. I gotta look into myself and find out who I am.
Yeah. Carry myself with elegance. I represent the old soul buried in their intelligence. Feeling unseen with a dream full of embellishment. I don't relish in compliments, keep condiments out. Can't tell if it's genuine. Maybe it's just a symptom of feeling like an imposter. Fuck it, I'm just the illest. The syndrome is mighty proper. Applaud him for being awesome and awe of him like a father who's proud of his baby daughter for talking white as a toddler. Photographic memory of taking photos with family members. Where did the times go? I faintly remember. Was it all the turmoil with relatives on African soil? The precious moments, they were dainty as ever. Like my cousin Adele, unlock the cage in your mind because it's rough in the cell. The tender age of 5, I realized that it's something of hell. Middle fingers to the haters, gotta be tough as nails. Cause many petty probably praying you fuck I want the peace, I want the love, I need the joy to hold me down. I release the cuffs that hold me down and keep my poise. I know me now, I don't want disease, I don't want the drugs, I don't need the coin to hold me down. I release the cuffs that hold me down and keep my poise. I know me now. In the midst of being directionless, I'm met with annoyance. I can't live with your expectations, so I'm set to destroy him. Blood on my hands for making the killing of one's ego. I'm asking if it's necessary as the gun reloads. Cock back and aim it at the mirror, now it's clear. Assassination, the character is self-esteem road. Tell me, how do I transform from caterpillar to butterfly? 48 laws, but the truth is the numbers lie. Cause no matter how many mantras I read for confidence, I can't seem to conquer this monster that keeps on conjuring a bigger problem. As I'm searching through my psyche, a wave of emotions bite me like a shark that's in the ocean and smelling what type you might be. It doesn't even matter, cause as soon as that blood flowed and your whole aura is shattered. Broken reflection and stigma that you gotta figure it out before you're 23 is what you all gotta deal with now. I want the peace, I want the love, I need the joy to hold me down. I release the cuffs that hold me down and keep my poise. I know me now, I don't want disease, I don't want the drugs, I don't need the coin to hold me down. I release the cuffs that hold me down and keep my poise. I know me now.
Memories in the soul. The only thing you take with you after this life is your memories or your knowledge, your experiences. That's the only thing you take.
Without any uses, that could leave me in the ditch, that could leave me in a...
Am I a god or a demon?
Hey yo, I must say I miss the days of dumping lunch trays, playing fun games every Saturday and Sunday. A ball, now it's hard, every day is Monday. Bullets at the stars, ricochet from the gunplay. One day, I'ma have desires and more, the fly is couture. Girls wildin' while I'm on tour, for sure. The boys' ambition is making them more efficient. You never pour your heart into shit, they sort of forget you. My mission is to be as infinite as it was written, and timeless as illmatic. A paddock is deficient when you're gifted, no assistance, but heavy lifting is needed when your light shine bright. Let's wear a visor for your vision. A pupil of the school of hard knocks without tuition. When one door closes, the key is keep your mind open. Don't mind omens unless they come with good fortune and peace of mind. Hope that it fronts you a good portion. Lionheart and representative. This track be the storm right after the sedative. I'm too competitive, time I'm ahead of it. Until the end of it, I'm flyer than the Pegasus. From hard-headed kids to brothers with etiquette. Everyone know we nice like mothers with elegance. Mistaken was his kindness, was low on self-esteem. Now he's taken as your highness. He's sacred as a shrine is. Yo, sacred as a since 17, been flowing like 7 seas. Started recording at 20 to be the best MC. The game needs an aura of a leader who can bet on himself and his mic. Even Jordan had led his team to victory. Married the game, got plenty rings. If you stand the test of time, could they question your legacy? Either you or your fans change. A damn shame, I'm just a student of life who likes to keep his hands raised. Original man-made mathematics and science. Television only brings cataracts in the eyelids. Defiant, can break my body but not my spirit. Screaming fuck the world, praying Pac can hear it. My biggest opponent, never been the biggest proponent of thinking about the future while I'm so into the moment. But after my first album, I'm thinking about the next. The second one gon' have my feet sinking way down the next. Yeah, Lionheart and representative. This track be the storm right after the sedative. I'm too competitive, time I'm ahead of it. Until the end of it, I'm flyer than the Pegasus. From hard-headed kids to brothers with etiquette. Everyone know we nice like mothers with elegance. Mistaken was his kindness, was low on self-esteem. Now he's taken as your highness. He's sacred as a shrine is. He's sacred as a shrine is.
Your arms are just too short to box with God.
Whoa, whoa, yeah. Yo, why does everybody start their verse like that? Show me out. Yeah, it's the kid with scoliosis here to set the record straight. I'm too fly to be boxed in by all you featherweights. I can't be scaled back, I'm only here to sever snakes. I bet I get in their head when beats involving several stakes. My mental space soiled when my feet are planted. Cause my foot up on the gas to get the speed advantage. But kid, you gotta slow down, they don't even know Yao. Introduce him to the boy who didn't speak the language of music and was reclusive cause he couldn't loosen up around a group of people and never felt he was good enough. But every day's another opportunity in life to give a eulogy, because the thing that ruined me has died. The youth in me's alive and the truth is on the rise. You can see it on my face, yeah, the proof is in my eyes. The roots of our demise can stem from self-treason. Not believing in me is the reason my health depleted.
Talk to yourself more. Affirm to yourself more. Don't move none of this. Close this down and go within and say, I am the greatest ... ever. I have all my needs coming with speed. I am a being of love and light and knowledge. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Whatever it is, have your affirmation on your tongue. Or, sorry, in your being.
I'm not a person to go out and say I did this for this one, I did that for that one, because that's not how you receive the blessings from the universe. You don't get blessings by bragging on the things that you do for people because you expect to get things in return. Yeah. That is not how you do it. That is not how it works. Because you can have a person who goes out here today, gives away $1 million, but if you post that and you talking about it every second that you're doing it, the universe doesn't understand that and it blanks out, so it doesn't count. Not saying it doesn't count for the person you give it to, but it doesn't count for the fact of your spiritual soul. Yeah. So I do things without speaking. I don't do things for the accolades. I never did hip hop for the accolades. Yeah. And so when people say you don't receive the accolades that you should, people don't talk about you like they should. I said, yeah, but I'm so good with the universe.
In the midst of the blue sky,
there's a place for me to fly, there's a place for me to fly.
I'ma figure this shit out.
When the doubt is on the rise, when the doubt is on the rise.
In the midst of the blue sky,
there's a place for me to shine, there's a place for me to shine.
Even when I'm under a dark cloud,
yeah, the kid is gon' rise.
The kid is gon' rise. So many layers in life to peel back. Try to coach him on the game, some won't even feel jack. Depends who got the mic, cause some walks of life like to falsify the facts, but be claiming it's real rap. An ill cat who got the dog in him, spitting raw venom. They marvel at his bars, I bring him C's Armageddon. I see my target and I dead it. From long range it's all flames from every sentence when I said it. A legend, they don't make them like this in a factory. Rhyming is a sport and I face it like I'm an athlete. Catastrophes for whack MCs and their contemporaries. Your smash will never last, your career is temporary. The first of my kind, I just see you as secondary. The mic is all I need, I'm feeling like Meth and Mary. It's scary how I do the most damage with little. I study both generations, no doubt I stand in the middle. In the midst of the blue sky,
there's a place for me to fly, there's a place for me to fly.
I'ma figure this shit out.
When the doubt is on the rise, when the doubt is on the rise.
In the midst of the blue skies,
there's a place for me to shine, there's a place for me to shine.
Even when I'm under a dark cloud,
yeah, the kid is gon' rise.
The kid is gon' rise. All I need is a date with annihilate, and the microphone beating stage to change the vibration. Wise patience, no one to sit back and observe. You'll see a lot of sincerity, people lacking their words. Either that or they speechless, so they lacking the words. You call it acting absurd, I call it rational, sir. It's better than acting like you got the answers to the cancers of the world with zero action, but just rapping the verbs. Determined to make this rapping shit work, so mama can get some cash in her purse. Large stacks before she cast to a hearse, so every beat's in the casket and dirt. This is passion at work, immaculate. This is passion at work. Of the blue sky,
there's a place for me to fly, there's a place for me to fly.
I'ma figure this shit out.
When the doubt is on the rise, when the doubt is on the rise.
In the midst of the blue skies,
there's a place for me to shine, there's a place for me to shine.
Even when I'm under a dark cloud,
yeah, the kid is gon' rise.
The kid is gon' rise. You live with consequences and you die with regrets. Got demons that gang up on me and they ride for they set. I ain't driven by foul shit, I don't ride with a tech. I just get flagrant on the track, you decide who's the best. My music link's full of gold that can shine on your neck. Sharp mind and sharp words, put the knife to your chest. Surgical, prefer to move precise just like it was chess. Rushing up just for the crown like I whitened with crest. Bright intellect, sweeter juice the darker the flesh. Need more black superheroes more than Peter Parker has webs. But everyone's under fire, not a good spark to your rep. I guess going through some hell is all a part of success. The biggest life test is who gon' give up on it when they answerless. Answer this, why our views on our true leaders slanderous? It's cancerous, repair the damages. Who can repair the damages?
We so quick to tear down our leaders, man.
You gonna get to that?
That's scary to me. Real talk. That's really scary, bro.
Observing the wicked laws of the land, I'll let God be the judge. After all, he got the ball in his hand. In the palm of mine is a microphone with the flip of a switch. Can light your zone with the slickest recited poems. Early 20s, but it's like my soul is twice as old. But inspiring it to inspire and ignite my folk. Give him the type of jolt of a striking of lightning bolts. Promise to speak my truth no matter the lies imposed. I dispose the inactiveness, sad to see wasted talent. You'll be sadly cast down if you sitting and wait for balance. Taking charge like an activist who knows who face a challenge. But the question is, do we got game like Ray and Allen? That's TBD. Had ankle breakers on DVD, but I'll never cross over all the way to POP. That's gonna have to flow to me like a river. DOC, ain't no coaching me in the great words of DOT. I stand on principle, so I always break their shoulders. The world can be chillin', and niggas heat make it colder. You can make it out the jungle and ball like Chris Paul, or you can sleep in your jungle, but best believe they're waking forest. I pray for fortune for my fortress. Demons never prosper cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. I pray for fortune for my fortress. Demons never prosper cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. This is raw and uncut, just call it a rush of adrenaline. Malevolence, I'm devilish when barring them up. They stay biting so it's right I leave them all in the dust. A product of Queen's legends, you know Nas in the bunch. If I ruled the world with an iron fist, I'll be remiss if I didn't face evil and hit his jaw with a punch. Ironic as fuck, considering the fact in bar 2 I said I'm malevolent, but really awkward as fuck. Sorry y'all, being honest is tough. Abiding God, the universe and nature, cause man's law isn't just. I just wanna get away at times to a place where the heaviest topics don't weigh on minds, just erase from existence the system that's made our lives a living hell. Fortunate enough to not live in poverty, but it bothers me that a lot of my people barely living well. How long do we wish them well until they swallow you up and then break you down like sickle cell? No more tears, blood is now being shed. The truth is getting exposed opposed to what's being said. The hunger grows tired of the bullshit being fed. We'll grab the bull by his horns whenever we see red. So I always break his shoulders. The world can be chillin' and niggas heat make it colder. You can make it out the jungle and ball like Chris Paul, or you can sleep in your jungle, but best believe they're waking forest. I pray for fortune for my fortress. Demons never prosper cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. I pray for fortune for my fortress. Demons never prosper cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. From innocent living to a disastrous life, in tough positions cause brothers then took the baddest advice. Now you paying the consequence cause an action is price. The type of shit that make brothers wanna relapse on a vice. I think it's time we all use our flaws to our advantage and not be our downfall. How the cruelest at planet, clueless and stranded, that be our current state. Though some of us have awakened as we observing our fate. As the essence of existence somehow it's turned into cases cause we living in hell that opposes to burn the races. Emotionless cause they brainless and the hardest concern escape them. No Moses to free a hopeless and lost generation. Who be the bravest one to step to the plate? I made a promise to myself before I exit this place. I'll be autonomous and wealthy, not a peasant or slave. The anonymous will be welcome when his presence is made. I stand on principles, so I always break his shoulders. The world can be chillin' and niggas heat make it colder. You can make it out the jungle and ball like Chris Paul, or you can sleep in your jungle, but best believe they're waking forest. I pray for fortune for my fortress. Demons never prosper cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. I pray for fortune for my fortress. Demons never prosper cause we one step ahead when we several monsters. Lionheart representative. This track be the storm right after the sedative. I'm too competitive, time I'm ahead of it. Until the end of time I'm flyer than the Pegasus. From hard-headed kids to brothers with etiquette. Everyone know he nice like mothers with elegance. Mistaken was his kindness, was low on self-esteem. Now he's taken as your highness. Sacred as a shrine, he's sacred as a shrine. I must say I miss the days of dumping lunch trays, playing fun games every Saturday and Sunday. A ball, now it's hard, every day is Monday. Bullets at the stars ricochet from the gunplay. One day I'ma have desires and more, designer galore. While I'm on tour, for sure, the boy's ambition is making them more efficient. You never pour your heart into shit, they sorta forget you. My mission is to be as infinite as it was written, and timeless is illmatic. A paddock is deficient when you're gifted, no assistance but heavy lifting is needed. When your light shine bright, that's where advisor for your vision. A pupil of the school of hard knocks without tuition. When one door closes, the key is keep your mind open. Don't mind omens, lest they come with good fortune. And peace of mind, hope that it fronts you a good portion. Lionhearted representative. This track be the storm right after the sedative. I'm too competitive, time I'm ahead of it. Until the end of time I'm flyer than the Pegasus. From hard-headed kids to brothers with etiquette. Everyone know he nice like mothers with elegance. Mistaken was his kindness, was low on self-esteem. Now he's taken as your highness. Sacred as a shrine, yeah, sacred as a shrine. Since 17, been blowing like 7 seas. Started recording at 20 to be the best MC. The game needs an aura of a leader who can bet on himself and his mic. Even Jordan led his team to victory. Married the game, got plenty rings. If you stand the test of time, could they question your legacy? Either you or your fans change. A damn shame, I'm just a student of life who likes to keep his hands raised. Original man-made mathematics and science. Television only brings cataracts in the eyelids. Defiant, can break my body, but not my spirit. Screaming fuck the world, praying Pac can hear it, hear it, hear it, hear it. My biggest opponent, never been the biggest proponent of thinking about the future while I'm into the moment. But after my first album, I'm thinking about the next. The second one will have my feet sinking way down their necks. Yeah, Lionheart representative. This track be the storm right after the sedative. I'm too competitive, time I'm ahead of it. Until the end of time I'm flyer than the Pegasus. From hard-headed kids to brothers with etiquette. Everyone know he nice like mothers with elegance. Mistaken was his kindness, was low on self-esteem. Now he's taken as your highness. Sacred as his shrines, he's sacred as his shrines.
Pretentious is an overstatement, never undermine him. Just feel like he's the nicest, there anybody to try him. His punchlines knock the wind out of you if you're chiming. So see your lips, so you getting popped like a hymen. Devante instrumental was a virgin, so it's only right I fucked it up once I heard it. The heart is out without a jury, dishing out a verdict. I try to keep a sentence short, no matter how I word it. This verbiage is useless when your eyes tell a story. Either going through it or the combo is just hella boring.
Like really?